But Chris, AI is getting real. We talk about it on a regular basis, and it seems like there's, for some who are adapting, a shift from sort of intrigue to actual getting into the weeds around implementation. So part of what we're trying to do is that signal to noise ratio, like what matters, what's working, what are people actually doing to get a result. I'd love for you to chime in there. I've got a couple of things I'll hit on too.
So, what area of wealth management is AI not going to touch? One of the things that I've been really an advocate of is communicating that wealth management will be given away for free. I think it'll happen in 18 months. People think it'll happen longer. That's where I say.
Say that again. This is profound.
Wealth management, as we know it, will be free in 18 months. It will be advice that's being charged for. And so if wealth management's free and we charge for advice, instead of now, what do? We give away advice and we charge for wealth management. This is going to flip on its head. And as it does, every single area AI will touch in a meaningful way. In the leadership capacity as a wealth manager for your team. Within leadership, are you using tools like Grain to record your team meetings that are listening for contribution of each team member, that are also taking into account the tone and inflection that you as a leader have with different team members in providing you real feedback? Is it also engaging maybe, or are you overloading or overworking different team members? It keeps track of the different delegated tasks. This is just a tool for efficiency and leadership. And then there's a whole suite of tools that you can have in the area of client acquisition. You're looking at, Lead, right now, Lead IQ, Lavender, ChatGPT, which you and I use a lot of, is every one of these different capacity tools to reach a new audience with really targeted, specific target to who you're best suited for content, so that you can speak to what? The lifestyle-based outcomes that your process makes more predictable. That's the bottom line. What are we charging for? What do I pay 1% a year for to a financial advisor? I pay 1% a year so I have more predictability around my lifestyle-based outcomes. I get a higher level of predictability by giving 1% to a team than by trying to do it on my own. That's how we need to get is more and more focused on the advice side rather than the wealth management side. Look, the trust service is huge, but personalized follow-up, that's where we're going to strike a chord that differentiates.
Well, and you mentioned content and thought leadership, subject matter expertise. I mean, the concept of writer's block is gone.
Yeah.
I had a firm that received our white paper on AI and said, look, our people they haven't even really put anything on their phone. They're just not even dabbling yet. Could you try to light a fire? And all they're really allowed to use is Copilot. So I go on to Grok, I think it was, the Twitter X AI version. And I just said, okay, create a presentation on how a financial advisor can use Copilot. 3 seconds. I'm in the red zone. I'm like, this is good. But then I said, this is complex. Dumb it down a little bit, just so I can ease in and not, confuse anybody. It simplified it. And then, so if I have an hour to present, I'll ease in, and then I'll get into the weeds in a little bit more detail. I had another firm ask me if I could do a presentation on leadership, because so many financial advisors who are scaling up are wearing a lot more hats today, HR issues, etc. So I said, okay, create a presentation for me. I did go to chat on this. Create a presentation that I can deliver to financial advisors on leadership, so they can elevate their leadership to their clients, but also their team members who are trying to elevate the client experience. An entire chassis. Now, I'm not going to take it verbatim, but a chassis that inspires me to plug in and load on some of our core stuff from our content. And now I'm in the red zone. So content, amazing. Intellectual property, Like this is the challenge I lay down for every advisory team. I say, if what you do and what you know resides solely in your head, it is a skill. And you are transacting your trading time for money. The moment it's documented, digitized, organized, standardized, professionalized, now it's intellectual property. So as you know, in our white paper, there's an entire progression within our prompt sheet. You can build out 80 or 90% of your playbook in 90 days if you just follow that progression. So AI is getting real. There's no question about it.
And everybody's going to be, even those listening to this podcast will feel in different stages of adoption and understanding. And what you can take from that is, if the white paper is a little more involved and you do want something a little more refined, kind of a AI white paper for dummies version, you can drop that into ChatGPT and create an AI white paper for dummies out of the PDF. Everything that you can imagine, any question that you might ask, you got to first think now, almost like it's a post-Google question. This is a partner with you that has access and real data to provide solutions for
you know what's interesting about that, Chris? A lot of tech people I talk to, I say, what is your ratio between going to AI versus going to and doing a Google search? What's your ratio now? Most tech guys say I go to AI first, and if I want validation, then I'll do a Google search just to verify what AI produced for me. But it's changing the utility. It's like going from VHS to beta. Like they're going to a new, it's a new habit that's being formed, which is kind of interesting.
You can watch it even with your kids, right? We've got college kids, and I mean, they don't watch television. You know, they're on their phones all the time, but the thing that I find that they're using their phones for, it's AI. It's not Googling anything anymore. They are going to AI and they're finding real answers, at least stimulating additional thought and questions that
I know an advisor. I know an advisor who's got a lot of clients in their 70s and 80s, and he's saying to them, ask your grandkids how to put chat on your phone and how to use it. You'll have probably the most meaningful 2-hour conversation with your 11-year-old grandkid than you can ever imagine. And they're calling back and saying it's taken our relationship to another level, because now the protege is teaching the mentor and they feel so proud. Hey, grandpa, let me show you something. And hey, by the way, you like this football team. Let's talk about some of the long-term, like they're going down these paths. It's so invigorating to make that connection.
I had a similar one happen where it was a grandfather who his grandson showed him GPT and showed him how to write poems. And he was writing poems for his grandmother with GPT, and the product of them, the grandmother's crying because the grandson's writing meaningful, personalized poems from the inputs that he gave about the grandmother's life. And the grandfather was just like, this is unbelievable. So it was just interesting to see the meaningful impact in families that it can have.